Since time immemorial, miracles have intrigued and enchanted humanity, functioning as extraordinary signs of divine intervention in the earthly world. They awaken questions, reinforce faith, and feed hope, transcending human limitations and offering a direct connection with the divine. But what exactly is a miracle? According to Christian tradition, miracles are events that defy natural laws, manifesting the power of God. They are not just inexplicable phenomena. They are signs of love and mercy designed to draw attention to the truth of the gospel. For the Catholic Church, miracles have a special role as they confirm the sanctity of people, moments, and places. They are often associated with saints, serving as testimony to their communion with God and their intercession for the faithful. Miracles are also powerful tools of evangelization. When they occur, they generate an immediate impact, not only among believers, but also among skeptics, sparking debates and reflections on the supernatural and divine purpose. Some miracles become known worldwide, gaining notoriety due to their magnitude or because they were witnessed by crowds. These events are remembered through the centuries and reinforce the bond between the faithful and the mystery of faith. One of the most impressive and widely recognized miracles is the miracle of the sun, which occurred in 1917 in Fatima, Portugal. More than 70,000 people witnessed the sun dance across the sky, a phenomenon with no scientific explanation that solidified belief in Our Lady's apparitions. During the miracle of the sun, the previously cloudy sky opened, revealing an extraordinary scene. The sun seemed to rotate, change color, and approach the earth. The experience deeply impacted those who were present, believers and non-believers. The impact of this miracle was immediate and profound. He validated the messages of Our Lady of Fatima, which called for prayer and penance, and brought a renewal of faith to thousands of people around the world. Another widely recognized miraculous event was the tears of Our Lady of Akita, Japan. A statue of the Virgin Mary cried on several occasions during the 1970s, a phenomenon accompanied by messages of warning and hope. Scientists who examined the tears found that they were identical to human ones, reinforcing the authenticity of the event. This miracle was considered a call to repentance and prayer in times of moral and spiritual crisis. The Holy Shroud of Turin is another example of a miracle that transcended time, challenging scientists and theologians. The cloth, which many believe to have wrapped the body of Jesus Christ after his crucifixion, contains an inexplicable image of a man with crucifixion marks. Modern scientific studies have not yet been able to fully unravel how the image was formed on the fabric. Although skeptics argue about its origin, for many believers, the shroud remains a tangible testimony to the Passion of Christ. These extraordinary events not only defy rational explanations, but also inspire and comfort the hearts of the faithful. They are powerful reminders that the supernatural can manifest in our reality. The impact of miracles on people's lives is remarkable. For those who directly experience or witness a miracle, there is often a profound transformation of faith that leads to a greater commitment to God and the Church. Furthermore, miracles are sources of comfort for those who seek signs of divine care. They show that God continues to be present and active in the world, answering prayers in extraordinary ways. Miracles also bring hope in times of difficulty, reminding us that we are not alone and that even in the midst of suffering, there is a divine purpose. This certainty is a foundation for many who face tribulations. Even in contemporary times, miracles continue to occur, although they are often met with greater skepticism due to advances in science and technology. However, faith maintains its relevance, showing that science and the supernatural are not necessarily exclusive. A modern example is the case of Carlo Acutis, the cyber apostle of the Eucharist. His beatification was marked by a miracle involving the healing of a Brazilian child suffering from a serious illness, attributed to his intercession. Contemporary miracles like this show that God continues to act in the world, even in an increasingly technological and rationalistic context. They also challenge the limits of human understanding, pointing to the mystery of faith. However, science plays an important role in the investigation of miracles, helping to distinguish truly supernatural events from not yet understood natural phenomena. This dialogue between faith and reason is fundamental. For the Church, each recognized miracle is carefully examined. The process involves rigorous scientific and theological analyses, ensuring that only truly inexplicable events with spiritual value are officially declared miracles. The coexistence between science and faith in relation to miracles reveals the depth of the human search for answers. While science explores the how, faith helps understand the why, offering greater meaning to our experiences. In addition to extraordinary events, everyday miracles are also worth highlighting. From recovering from a serious illness to the birth of a child, these moments remind us of God's presence in our daily lives. In the end, miracles, whether grand or subtle, are expressions of God's love for us. They are signs that He is always with us, guiding and comforting us on our earthly journey. This is why miracles continue to be so important to the Christian faith. They not only reaffirm our belief in the supernatural, but also bring us closer to the divine mystery, renewing our hope and trust in God. The miracle of the sun in Fatima is just one example of how God uses extraordinary signs to reinforce the faith of His people. Other miraculous events throughout history have equally impressive characteristics, touching the lives of thousands and leaving a lasting impact. In the 13th century, the Eucharistic miracle of Bolsena in Italy marked the Church in a unique way. During a Mass, a priest who doubted transubstantiation saw the host bleed, staining the corporal on the altar. This event reaffirmed the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. This miracle was so significant that it led Pope Urban IV to institute the Solemnity of Corpus Christi, celebrated to this day. The blood-stained corporal is preserved in Orvieto Cathedral as a powerful testimony to the truth of the Catholic faith. In Lanciano, also in Italy, a similar Eucharistic miracle occurred centuries earlier. A priest, during the consecration, saw the host transform into flesh and the wine into blood. This event continues to be studied and venerated by millions of believers. Scientific analyses carried out on the fragments of Lanciano's miracle revealed that the meat is human heart tissue and the blood belongs to group AB, the same as that found in the Holy Shroud. These findings reinforce the authenticity and divine nature of the event. Eucharistic miracles, in particular, are intended to reinforce faith in the real presence of Christ in the consecrated bread and wine. They are God's answers to human doubts, bringing clarity and depth to the understanding of the mystery of the Eucharist. Another type of miracle that often inspires the faithful is inexplicable healing. In Lourdes, France, since Our Lady's apparitions to Saint Bernadette Soubirous, countless people report being healed through the intercession of the Virgin Mary. The sanctuary of Lourdes is today one of the most visited pilgrimage sites in the world. There, the water from the spring, discovered by Bernadette under the guidance of Our Lady, is considered a channel of divine graces, with reports of cures that defy science. To date, more than 70 cures in Lourdes have been officially recognized by the Church as miraculous, following rigorous medical examinations and investigations. These events are a reminder of Mary's intercessory power and God's mercy. However, it is not just the saints and the Virgin Mary who intercede for miracles. Angels also play a significant role. Stories of inexplicable protection attributed to angelic intervention are recorded in different times and places. A famous example is the miracle of the Battle of Monte Cassino during the Second World War, where reports from soldiers describe being saved by angelic figures in the midst of the conflict. These testimonies fuel the belief in constant heavenly protection. Miracles also serve to unite communities and reinforce solidarity among the faithful. When a miraculous event happens, it often sparks a collective response of gratitude, devotion, and spiritual renewal. In Brazil, the miracle attributed to Blessed Father Donizetti in Tambaú is an example of this. Known for his deep faith and charity, he was associated with extraordinary healings and conversions, drawing crowds to the city. These events not only directly benefit those who receive grace, but also inspire all who hear their accounts, promoting greater confidence in divine providence and the intercession of the saints. Sometimes miracles come in the form of warnings or messages, as occurred in Garabandal, Spain, during the 1960s. The apparitions of Our Lady warned of the need for conversion and penance, accompanied by supernatural phenomena. Although not yet officially recognized by the Church, the apparitions in Garabandal continue to be an object of study and devotion by many believers, highlighting the power of celestial messages to touch human hearts. Another fascinating aspect of miracles is how they often transcend cultural and geographic barriers. In Kibeho, Rwanda, Our Lady's appearances in the 1980s brought messages of peace and repentance in a region marked by conflict. During the apparitions at Kibeho, celestial signs such as solar phenomena were witnessed by crowds. Mary's message was a call for reconciliation, preparing the community to face future challenges, including the genocide that would devastate the country. Miracles like these not only inspire believers, but also challenge skeptics to reconsider their worldview. They show that even in darkness, there are signs of light and hope sent by God. The Church plays a crucial role in analyzing and discerning miracles. The Vatican has specific commissions to investigate such events, involving experts from various areas to guarantee the veracity and authenticity of the reports. This careful process reflects the Church's commitment to not only protecting the faith, but also avoiding deception or superstition. Each recognized miracle goes through years of study and analysis, strengthening its credibility among the faithful. The impact of modern miracles, such as that attributed to Carlo Acutis, reflects the universality of divine grace. Although they occur in specific contexts, they carry messages that resonate with people of all cultures and ages. Miracles are also often accompanied by conversions. The experience of the extraordinary deeply touches hearts, leading many people to change their lives and get closer to God. Even among those who do not directly witness a miracle, simply hearing these stories can be transformative. They renew faith, awaken hope, and invite reflection on the presence of God in our daily lives. Miracles continue to be a powerful reminder that God's love transcends any human limitations. They are signs of His closeness and His willingness to guide us along the path of salvation, even in times of doubt. Miracles, in essence, are expressions of God's infinite love for humanity. Each event, whether grand or subtle, carries a message of hope, calling people to a life of faith, penance, and communion with the divine. Among the most emblematic miracles of the Christian tradition, that of Saint Januarius in Naples stands out. 3 times a year, the saint's blood stored in an ampule liquefies in an inexplicable way, attracting the attention of scientists and believers. The phenomenon has occurred for centuries and is considered a sign of the saint's protection over the city. When the blood does not liquefy, it is believed to be an omen of difficult times, which reinforces the spiritual significance of this miracle. Another striking example is the miracle of bilocation, often associated with saints such as Padre Pio and Saint Francis Xavier. Both were seen in different places at the same time, carrying out works of evangelization and assistance to those in need. Bilocation defies natural laws and reinforces the idea that for God, nothing is impossible. These events show how saints, even limited by the human body, can act beyond physical borders to fulfill the divine will. The intercession of saints is one of the most common ways to experience miracles. Reports of graces achieved through devotion to saints, such as Saint Rita of Cassia and Saint Jude Thaddeus, are numerous and continue to inspire believers around the world. Saint Rita, known as the Saint of Impossible Causes, is often invoked by those facing insurmountable challenges. Miracles attributed to his intercession include healings and family reconciliations, bringing hope in seemingly hopeless situations. St. Jude Thaddeus, in turn, is widely venerated as the patron saint of desperate causes. Faithful around the world report extraordinary graces received through his powerful intercession, reinforcing popular devotion to the apostle. Miracles are not limited to physical healings or visible supernatural phenomena. They often come in the form of spiritual transformations, such as radical conversions or the renewal of entire communities. An example of collective transformation occurred in Assisi during the lifetime of Saint Francis. His simplicity and fervor led thousands to embrace a life of evangelical poverty, inspiring a spiritual revolution that echoes to this day. The miracles associated with Saint Francis, such as his stigmatization and his ability to talk to animals, are testaments to his profound union with God and creation. They continue to attract people looking for a more authentic spirituality. In the case of Saint Teresa of Avila, spiritual miracles also stand out. His mystical experiences, including ecstasies and visions, were signs of his deep communion with God, inspiring the renewal of Carmel and the contemplative life. These mystical miracles not only built the faith of their contemporaries, but also continue to guide those who seek deeper intimacy with God through prayer and meditation. Among more recent saints, St. John Paul II is remembered not only for his leadership, but also for the miracles attributed to his intercession. One of them was the healing of a nun with Parkinson's, which contributed to her canonization. St. John Paul II, a man of prayer and charity, showed that miracles are still a reality in the modern world. His legacy is an invitation to trust fully in divine providence, regardless of the circumstances. Modern science has played a crucial role in discerning miracles. Medicine, in particular, helps separate natural cures from true supernatural events, as occurs in the rigorous process of recognizing miracles in Lourdes. Cooperation between science and faith demonstrates that the two fields can walk together in harmony. While science seeks to understand the mechanisms of the natural world, faith invites us to contemplate the mystery of the divine. Miracles are also reminders that God works in unexpected ways. They often happen in moments of crisis, bringing solutions that go beyond human understanding and strengthening trust in divine mercy. In Mexico, the apparitions of Our Lady of Guadalupe in the 16th century resulted in one of the best-known miracles in history. The image of the Virgin, printed on the tilma of Saint Juan Diego, remains intact to this day, defying scientific explanations. This miracle not only converted millions to Christianity, but also united indigenous peoples and colonizers, symbolizing the universality of Christ's message. The tilma is venerated as a tangible sign of Mary's maternal care. In addition to apparitions and healings, there are miracles related to divine protection in times of danger. A notable example is the survival of entire communities during natural disasters, often attributed to the intercession of saints. During World War II, a convent in Hiroshima where Jesuits lived remained intact after the atomic bomb explosion. The religious attributed their survival to the daily recitation of the Rosary, a testimony to Our Lady's protection. Miracles of this type reinforce the importance of prayer as a channel of grace. They show that even in the midst of destruction, God's hand can protect those who trust in Him. Popular devotion also plays an important role in the dissemination of miraculous reports. Stories of local saints, often not widely known, continue to inspire faith and spiritual renewal in their communities. An example of this is Saint Charbel Makhlouf in Lebanon, whose intercession is associated with countless healings. His tomb attracts pilgrims from all over the world, testifying to the power of his sanctity. The tomb of Saint Charbel, located in Anaya, became a place of continuous miracles. Reports of inexplicable healings and spiritual conversions make him a symbol of the divine presence amid the difficulties of the Middle East. In times of persecution and war, the miracles associated with Saint Charbel reinforce hope for those who suffer. His life of prayer and asceticism is an example of total surrender to God, which continues to inspire Christians around the world. Other saints known for post-mortem miracles include Sainte Thérèse of Lisieux, the Little Flower. Many devotees report receiving roses in response to prayers addressed to her, a sign of her promise to intercede for the faithful. Sainte Thérèse of Lisieux promised to spend heaven doing good on earth, and the miracles associated with her are seen as an expression of her constant intercession. His example teaches that even simple acts can have an eternal impact. Miracles are not limited by cultural or religious barriers. They often transcend borders, touching people from different backgrounds, as in the case of Blessed Carlo Acutis, whose devotion to the Eucharist attracted young people from all over the world. Carlo Acutis is a modern example of how holiness and miracles remain relevant in a contemporary context. His life, marked by simplicity and faith, is an inspiration for young people who seek to live in communion with God. On many occasions, miracles serve as a response to crises of faith. In moments of doubt, they offer a tangible reminder that God is present, working in mysterious ways to bring humanity back to his heart. The history of the Hebrew people in the Old Testament is also full of miracles. From the parting of the Red Sea to the manna in the wilderness, these events demonstrate God's constant care for his chosen people. These reports, although old, continue to resonate in the hearts of Christians, reinforcing confidence in divine providence. They show that even in the most difficult circumstances, God never abandons those who follow him. In the life of Jesus Christ, miracles assumed a central role. Healing the sick, raising the dead, and multiplying bread and fish were expressions of God's love and signs of the kingdom that he came to inaugurate. Christ's miracles not only benefited those who directly witnessed them, but they also served as timeless lessons in divine compassion, power, and mercy, inspiring generations of Christians to trust in his promise of salvation. After the ascension of Christ, the apostles continued to perform miracles, such as healing the sick and freeing the possessed. These acts were signs that the Holy Spirit was active in the nascent church, guiding and strengthening it. Among the early apostles, St. Peter is often associated with miracles. Once, even his shadow was enough to heal the sick, showing the depth of his faith and his closeness to divine power. Another significant example is St. Paul, who performed many miracles during his missionary journeys. On one occasion, he resurrected a young man named Eutychus, who had fallen from a window while preaching. These events reinforced his preaching and converted many. Miracles also have a lasting impact on popular devotion. They feed the faith of millions and encourage the creation of shrines and celebrations, such as the Feast of Our Lady of Fatima, which brings together pilgrims from all over the world annually. In modern times, science often questions the veracity of miracles, but this does not diminish their spiritual power. For the faithful, miracles continue to be signs that God acts actively and lovingly in their lives. The Church, in its wisdom, welcomes both skepticism and faith, promoting a balanced analysis of miracles. This approach allows believers to deepen their understanding of the supernatural without abandoning reason. Everyday miracles are also an important aspect of the Christian faith. Although they are not accompanied by extraordinary phenomena, moments of reconciliation, forgiveness, and spiritual renewal are seen as works of divine grace. Prayer is often the channel through which miracles happen, both in the form of the intercession of the saints and in direct appeals to God. Prayer is an expression of human trust in divine goodness and power. In the sacraments, especially the Eucharist and confession, Many believers experience what they consider spiritual miracles. Reconciliation with God and communion with Christ are seen as ongoing manifestations of His redeeming love. Miracles also serve to remind Christians of their vocation to holiness. They show that the extraordinary can occur even in the midst of ordinary life, inviting everyone to open their hearts to God's action. For skeptics, miracles can be an opportunity for reflection. Even if you don't accept them as supernatural, miraculous events often defy conventional explanations, encouraging a deeper search for answers. In the end, miracles are a testimony to God's infinite power and mercy. They invite us to trust Him even when we face challenges that seem insurmountable, for nothing is impossible for the Creator of the universe. Over the centuries, miracles have served as beacons of hope in a world often marked by uncertainty. They reinforce the central message of the gospel: God is with us, and His love is stronger than any obstacle. Thus, miracles continue to inspire humanity, inviting us to recognize the divine presence in all aspects of our lives. They remind us that in God, the impossible becomes possible, and faith finds its fulfillment in the mystery of His infinite love.